that should give you a pretty good idea of how our education taught us about what being Chinese meant.
Now, one thing about school is that I personally never really enjoyed school as a kid.
Today's going to be a very special episode because I'm going to have my say on the most underrated cities in China, which, in my not so humble opinion, is my hometown, Foshan.
If you're new here, my name is Siming. I'm also from China and I make videos showing you my look into this country. There are many places in China that are less well known but offers as many interesting culture as the big and famous cities.
Foshan is definitely a hidden gem. It will give you an absolutely refreshing experience into China's unique culture. Today, you're gonna be my date because why not? It's gonna be fun. That's my OOTD outfit of the day. Today I'm not going to be driving because I want to show you the transportation, which I think is pretty incredible. Foshan has its own separate metro system, which can directly take you to Guangzhou, but then it can also take you to around Foshan. For every tourist attraction, there is definitely at least one route that will take you directly to the entrance. Our first stop is going to be the ancestral temple of Foshan, and there is indeed a bus that will take you directly to it. One thing I like about Foshan's transportation is not only its convenience, but also its comfort. In Guangzhou, it's always very, very crowded, but in Foshan, you can always expect something like this. We are in an ancestral temple now. If you ever visit Foshan, please do come here and give this place a visit. It features many important essence of the Foshan local culture, specifically its Cantonese culture. One, we have the lion dancing, and then we also have Cantonese opera, which usually take place on weekends, as well as a museum featuring a very important man, a very famous martial artist called Yip Man. And Yip Man is the guy that founded the Kung Fu called Wing Chun. Now I'm gonna show you around this interesting place and give you some details of why this place is so important and so interesting. Okay, let's go. Cantonese opera, Yut Cat. From its music, singing, dancing, acting, staging, costumes to makeup, is a unique Chinese art form covering anything from Chinese mythology
historical epics to the everyday life.
The Cantonese opera has just ended, so I'm going to show you something. I can do a little bit of Cantonese opera singing too. Check this out. Check this out. 你这个破后。
哇，一个大风筝和一长的金钱。
Many people visit the ancestral temple. They don't know what to look at because people are so overwhelmed. But as a local, I can tell you that the highlight of the building is actually at the roof. You actually have to look up to see. In Chinese, we call that 瓦吉公仔, which are a set of incredibly exquisite ceramics decorating the house, featuring stories of Cantonese opera and folklore. They actually do not have eyeballs. And the reason for that is because we believe that these ceramic dolls are constantly absorbing the essence of the moon and the sun, which give them spirit. So if you give them eyeballs, they actually have the ability to fly away. That absolutely represents Foshan's beautiful, beautiful ceramics culture and art. Absolutely one of a kind.
Near the temple is the city center. The boundary between the old and the new in Foshan is always ambiguous.
10点45。
蔡老师是哪一届的？
我是15届的，
记好多年了呀。
10年前了，对。
啊。
Yeah, I'm in my high school with a very special guest. I'm actually with someone. Hello， 跟大家说一下，说 hello. We have known each other for like 20 years. We've been together in the same bloody lesson in primary school, and then we're in the same high school in the same lesson. 我们一起长大的，对不对？对吧？小学就一起了。This wall 讲党的光辉历程，好像没有，对不对？然后还有这里面这一边，红颜今生我们也没有讲，我们好像也没有讲过这些。Wow. Nowadays, I believe that every single school will have to learn about the history of Chinese Communist Party. So in China, we call this Red Spirit. And so you have to learn about the history of the founding of the CCP, or CPC. And then you learn about what happened to them, how they fight against the Japanese war. And we also feature the important hero story. We talk about the spirit, the things that he has done for the Chinese people to highlight the ethic of hard work and self-sacrifice. So that's one. And we talk about like how Mao and his colleagues has founded the base in the countryside and how they overcome difficulties. Fight against the coronavirus was also featured there. And below that was the long walk, 长征, 对不对? That should give you a pretty good idea of how our education taught us about what being Chinese meant and the Chinese, let's say, legacy after 1949. That shall give you a very good idea of our school and education as well. This is the summer holiday, but the third grade, which is the students in the ultimate year before they graduated from high school, they will have to come back to the school earlier to prepare for the Gaokao, which is the college entrance examination, a month before September, which is officially the beginning of each school year. So they'll have to come early to prepare for this. So that's a lot of hard work. 高一级风云榜. Oh, that's the memory of my school trauma. They will basically publish every single one of, if you've got bad grades, everyone will know. If you've got good grades, everyone will know. If you have bad grades, that's gonna make you look bad. Overall, my high school experience was like a good experience. But the only thing I would say is that like you base a lot of your self-worth on your grades. And that was something that I had to personally heal from when I became an adult. So, oh my God, flashback. This is the new area that they have after we graduated. We've never had this. This is easily the area that the student came here to study and hang out and do a little sneaking to do a couple things. 带走的是知识，留下的是文明。
一点都没变，真的。
我吗？
对啊，
我一点都没变，真的吗？
对啊，
没有变美吗？
Now, one thing about school was that I personally never really enjoyed school as a kid. I was such a boisterous, unruly and rowdy kid. In the Chinese school curriculum, it required a lot of sitting and listening to teacher talking and doing homework, and I never truly enjoyed that part of the Chinese education system. I was not the kind of student that teachers liked. I was easily bored and I never really paid attention to teachers. I always wanted to move around. I was very, very naughty as a child. So I never really felt respected and admired by any of my teachers. Admire as in like teachers, like you and they appreciate the good things about your personality and they they try to encourage you to do good things. When I was at school, I was very, very good at English. The subjects came very easily to me. It was easy for me to get good grades. But in middle school, I was bullied for that because I got bored easily in lessons because I already learned all these things. So I tend not to pay attention in lessons. And they would just call my name and they would make an entire fool out of me. My self-esteem hit rock bottom when I was a teenager. It was really, really bad. And it completely changed things for me after I went to this school. It's actually one of the best schools in Foshan. It's a public school, public boarding school. It's quite difficult to get in. It was in this school that I truly, truly felt I was respected by the teachers. And then also, it felt like it was safe to be me. Like, it was safe to express myself, to explore things that I wanted to explore. I remember my English teacher, her name was Sweet. She was such a nice lady. She was so kind. She was so lovely. She was always so nice to me. She was very encouraging. Even though I didn't like to pay attention in her lessons, I was just sort of like, I could just learn it on my own, I don't have to. But she would still ask me to answer questions and encourage me when I got it right. And she was never mean about it. There was a group of American students coming to our school to exchange, to do cultural exchange, and I really wanted to talk to those students. So I told her I wanted to give a presentation to those American students. I said I wanted to talk to them and teach them something about me and about Chinese culture. And she was like, yeah, of course you could do this, Ming. Of course you can do this. And she arranged it for me. Like, that was one experience that I could never really forget in my life. Oh my god, this makes me emotional. Oof. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, she was very kind. She was being very kind about it. So in the end, I made a PowerPoint, which was about a story of me traveling in Tibet, and I talked about my experience interacting with the locals and what it was like to travel in China. It was the first time I actually spoke to a group of foreigners. I was super nervous and I didn't know what I was doing. Sweet, the lovely English teacher, she just encouraged me. She lent me her computer to help me make my PowerPoint, and she gave me feedback. She told me that she believed in me, that I could do it. It made me very emotional talking about this because she's very ill and she's dying. And I could never get to see her again. I'm really happy that I got to see other teachers, but the person I really wanted to see was her. I felt really sad that I couldn't see her and I wouldn't be able to tell her in person. She had such a big impact on my life. I guess that is a regret that I have. This school was a very special experience for me. It taught me to take risks. It taught me to be brave. It taught me that it was okay to be who I am. It's okay to be different because different is interesting. And I wanted to share this part of Chinese upbringing with you and reconnect with this part of my life and with this part of my Chinese story. I actually prepare very different things to say, but sitting here right now, I just felt like saying the things I just said. I might come across as very, very inarticulate and confusing. So excuse me if that was the case. Foshan is the pottery capital of China. No criticisms accepted, thank you very much. Yeah, Jingdezhen is more polished, but have you seen interesting, fun figurines like this you can actually play with?
The thing about Foshan pottery is that people actually like to feature animals and fruits and very down-to-earth pieces. They like to use very bold and vivid colors to make them as vivid and cute and real as possible. This is a lovely piece of ginger, and in Chinese it is called 万寿无姜, and jiang has the same pronunciation as ginger, jiang in Chinese. So it means that if you have this in your home, you'll live a long life. Look at the birds, look at the color, the texture of it. Flower looks very, very real.
喺廣東做嘅陶瓷文化咧，偏向於諧音。菜嘅話咧就等於菜，姜就叫做江山，姜山穩坐姜山，比較偏向於生活嘅。
The thing is, when you go to ancestral temple and you look at the beautiful 瓦器公仔, the ceramic dolls on the roof, you can't touch it, you can't appreciate it, you can't bring them home. But here in Shiwan Taoci Street, you can actually go to the shops and buy some of the pieces that you personally like and then take them home. This is like 10 RMB each. It's like a little more than $1. Use this to drink tea. Care to have some pottery peanuts? Remember when I went to Kaiping, I actually wanted bouzai fan. So bouzai fan is actually a utensil made from pottery, and then that one place rice and veggies and meat inside the clay pot. Gives this very special flavor. My favorite bouzai fan is here. I'm gonna have it in Foshan. 一個華雞，一個東坡肉。I think the thing that people like about this dish is because it's very simple. We just put everything right in the clay pot and we just steam it for as long as it takes. At the bottom of the clay pot, there's this bit that is very crispy because it is slightly burned. When you mix everything together, it actually tastes very, very savory. So what you want to do is to mix them up together. You have a bite of meat and then a bite of rice.跟我拍摄是什么感受？
我觉得很好。你知道吗？现实生活中其实我没有什么人跟我讲英文，就是当我发现我听得懂你说的话的时候，我觉得哦哇，我的英语也没有很差，
自信心突然加满了。
但其实我觉得你讲的都很有意思。